What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Let's get right off into this, man. I want to address a serious issue, man, that we allowed to get to a point where we have to fix and change this situation, okay? We do. And this is the problem when you sit back and don't do nothing and you allow the enemy to have power over legislation, over government. Because what happens is they'll begin to put things in play dealing with your life and pushing their agenda on you to get you to abide by these satanic things that they do with the intentions and motive to destroy nationality, to destroy family, to destroy children. And this is the things that we're going through. And then they want to reverse what it is by trying to say, if you say something against it, then you doing the hate. You trying to take away from people liberty. You trying to push your views and influence on others. See, here's the thing about having objective truth. Objective truth is knowing that the truth that is established in God that takes care of everybody when they operate in it. And here's the problem that people have. When you try to remove God from the equation of life where he created, knowing how it's supposed to be done. And when you remove him from the situation, what happens is you are allowing the enemy to control the situation. And this is the problem we having right now. And this is what's going on in our world. We have allowed the enemy to come into the political realm. And in the political realm, he have put his representatives in play to make laws and legislation to force the government to act upon these laws that's made to make the people abide by, to silence and take your voice, that you may not have a say-so, as the enemy try to take and put in bondage these shackles on your children's mind and on their bodies to strip the parents from the power of raising their children. And ignorance is no excuse to the things that we fail to do. Now, with that being said, I want to show you something, right? This is something that was sent to me by one of my supporters, wanting me to address and talk on this topic. This is a criteria that is now being pushed in the public schools, in elementary school, to 4 and 5, 6, 7-year-old children. Look at the agenda of what they pushing. The LGBTQ has now come out with their own children books, and they are now trying to redo the ABCs and the perversion of their sexual immorality upon your children. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the LGBTQ educational criteria of the gay agenda put on your children, the gay BCs. Look at that. The gay BCs. This is what they pushing the children. This is what they branding your children on. The gay BCs. This is what they want to teach to your children. This is what they are teaching to your children. Why are they pushing this agenda so hard on these children? If you know anything, see, this is why you can never remove God from state. How you going to remove God from the country and state and planet that he made and created? It's his. You can't remove him anyway. But what happens is God would allow these people actions to fall on the nation as a result of being y'all representatives who you put in power to make these laws over y'all. And you are going to get the judgment of God that comes with what you allow. That's exactly what's going to happen. So notice what it says here. The gay BCs. So they want to get your children when they're young to abuse their mind and cut on lights of them. These lights shouldn't even be cut on children. Why do a child need to know they sexual sexual orientation as children to the point of where you want to direct them to who they should be having sex with at 5 and 6 years old? Children shouldn't have to be going through that. That's the furthest thing from children's mind. When we were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, we wasn't thinking about having sex with nobody. We just wanted to have fun. We wanted to eat cereal. We wanted to watch cartoons. We wanted to play with our toys. We wanted to go to the park. We was enjoying ourselves as children. We didn't know what our private parts was for other than using a bathroom. But look at the wickedness of Satan. And if you know anything about Satanism, he hates children. He always operates on the children. And Satanism, remember, they have to offer children to the devil because in their rituals and their practices, they believe innocent children blood empower them to some degree of bringing them in a position of spirituality to connect with the dark world. This have always been a way, even going back to Baalism in Babylon. This ain't no different. The only thing they're doing now is making it more creative and intelligent of how to do it. But this is the same actions that was done in ancient Babylon. When they were worshiping the god Moloch also. When they would offer their children and sit them on a fiery brass arms of Moloch, or throw the child into the stomach of Moloch while the priest would beat the instruments so that you couldn't hear the cries of the babies that burnt in the fire or bust on the brass hands of Moloch. This is exactly what you're seeing taking place. They're just doing it more smarter, more intellectual, to a way where they dress it up to appear to be innocent, calling it love, calling it peace, calling it liberty, calling it choice. Trying to raise your children. That's what they're doing. They want to raise your children. They want to strip you out of your integrity, your morality, and get the power in their hand to force this agenda and criteria on your children. And if you got anything to say against it, with the laws they put into play, you are in violation of the law. Now you considered guilty of hate crime. Now they want to take it and reverse it and say, you child abusing, you not a loving father, mother, you not supportive of your children. And then they so retarded with what they do, they say stuff like this. Well, this me, this how God made me. No, that's not you. What God made you, you trying to change it. So that's definitely not you. That's why we call parents. The job of a parent is to direct the child in the way that he should go. The Bible says, train the child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. As a parent, we have to use our experience to what we know of life, knowing that we was here first before our children, to prepare them not to make the same mistake that we made, to guard them and protect them from the harm that's out here in the world, that if we don't raise them up right under our roof, they don't have a fighting chance in the outside world. Your job as a parent is to make sure your child have a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ, who died on the cross for their sins, that they may know who love them, who protect them, who have their best interests. If you're not doing that, you're not operating under the rights of God as a parent. And you don't mean your child any good, because you cannot fight a spiritual war in the physical. You can't. This is spiritual. You cannot fight an unseen war in the physical. You have to recognize in the physical what's going on in the spiritual, because it all happens in the spiritual first before the physical come in contact with it. That's exactly what's taking place. Let me show y'all some of these letters of these gay BCs they put up. Let me just give you an example of what some of these letters say and what they teaching and trying to influence your children. They want your children to literally sit here and let me show you. So look at this letter L. It say L is for lesbians. L is for lesbians. It's love and affection between two special girls who share a connection. Look at that. L is for lesbian. It's love and affection. See how they're implying sex? between two girls. Now they're showing you what lesbianism is. Between two girls who share a connection. This is elementary school children books who don't know their ABCs. So for the children who learning ABCs from 4 and 5 years old, these are 4 and 5-year-old books. 4, 5, 6, 3-year-old books. Kindergarten books. First grade books. Teaching your children, teaching your young girls what lesbianism is. Sucking pussy. Let's just call it what it is. We cannot be playing these games with Satan. That's what it's meaning. That's what it's saying. Teaching your little girls or putting into their mind, because all you got to do is put the thought in their mind, and you know children are curious. Children are curious. You put the idea in their mind, they want to try it out. This is programming. This is child abuse. This is mental child abuse and physical child abuse. It's molestation. They're molesting these children. Spiritually, physically, and mentally. Shame on the world. Shame on the United States. Shame on every parent that's sitting here standing for this trash. Shame on you. See what they do? See, when you put them in power, now they put the shackles on you. Now they put the chains on you because you gave them power over the government. And now they're making laws for you. Now when you speak against this, you in violation. You wrong. Now let's tap your pockets. Now let's lock them up in prison. Now we really got their kids. How did it get this far? Because this is what we allowed. Being desensitized and brainwashed. Saying stupid stuff like this. Well, ain't got nothing to do with me, you know. If a person want to do that, then they want to be gay. They want to be gay. Wanting to be gay has everything to do with you. It affects the economy. It affects the nation. It makes STDs grow up farther. And these people in restaurants cooking your food. It's crazy. We look at the restaurant business as one of the most poorest business in the world, right? One of the most poorest business in the world, right? One of the most cheapest laborers in the world, right? Get them easy McDonald's jobs. They hire anybody. You don't got to go get no physical. You ain't got to get tested. And they handling your food. They handling your food. You don't know where they come from, what walks of life they come from. They handling your food. And food is important to you, even though the profession you getting your food from is one of the poorest and easiest to get into. It don't even require these things. It ain't no telling what they doing and touching to your food. I say that to say this. We need to wake up and recognize And we need to correct the error of our ways of what we did. Because what these people doing is terrible and it's shameful, and they are targeting these kids. They are raping, molesting, abusing these children. Make no mistake about it. And they trying to use words such as love and peace and support and parenting as a means to justify and push a satanic agenda when abusing these children and trying to strip people of their rights and take away your voice of anybody who speak out against it. And then they want to use the African Americans and blacks to make it marketable because we make everything look good. So we are the faces of homosexuality. This is why you see in all these movies now, in every movie, now they got to write in the script of a black homosexual, because the agenda is that black people have an influence over all the nations and world. So if we want this to be popular and we want people to gravitate to it, we need to put and incorporate black people in it. That's what they're doing. They want to use black people as the faces of this poison because they know our influence. They know our influence in media. They know our influence in entertainment. They know our influence in theater. They know our influence in sports. They know our influence in music. They know our influence in fashion. And all these things that needed to push the agenda, to market it. So they dress it up with black, while they govern and make the legislations of it through politics. See, in order to get the government to enforce it, it must be put into law. Now, the government can enforce these laws and policies that put in play. That now it comes with violation of incarcerations and taxing as a result of going against the agenda. Wake up, people. Stop being so stupid. Let me let you see something else. Let's look at another letter that is poison. This satanic agenda. Let's look at the letter B. Let's see what the letter B says. Let's see what the letter B says. Okay, watch this. So the letter B says this. It's a B is for bi. B is for bi, a bisexual. B is for bi. Look at that. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that demonic? Look how demonic and satanic that is. B is for bi. B is for bi. You can shout it out loud. I like more than one gender. Look at that. I like more than one gender. And Chad makes me proud. And you got two boys together. This is the ABC books for kindergarten, first, second, third. That's what this book is for. Teaching your children how to be a bisexual. You can suck dick, get fucked in the ass, and eat pussy. Let's just call it like it is. I don't like to cuss, and I'm not supposed to cuss as a born-again, Bible-believing Christian. But see, I know how the enemy is working. The enemy, look at the word it's using, love and affection, and to try to make it seem as though this is nothing wrong with it. So they taking words that God gave to us who actually mature and understanding the level of what it means. And you trying to incorporate it into a satanic agenda to try to mask what's going on in the child abuse, molestation, raping, and misleading of these children. And they trying to teach your children as children to suck dick, to get fucked in the ass, to eat pussy. These people should all be locked up. The person who wrote the book, the people who pushing the agenda, the criteria, the board of directors who actually allowing this and approve this, they should have all background checks showing and proving that these people have hurt some children down the line. And you know what the danger in this? Now they have given them rights to adopt children because they calling it sane. So now they going and get children, bringing them under their homes, raising them to be lesbians and raising them to be homosexuals, teaching them and practicing with them on how this thing is done. Make no mistake about it. You can't be sane in your right mind being comfortable with such an agenda. You can't be. Let me show you just how sorry and pathetic our so-called leaders is, who claiming to be leaders. This is a prime example of it. Let me show you the leader of these so-called black Hebrew Israelites. Let me show you one of their leaders, this dumbass dude, Captain Tazariak. He said, he want to be praised and worshiped. He want to put himself over Jesus Christ. He want to lie, manipulate people so he can get financial endorsements from rappers, pushing this weak, lame agenda of trash. We're going to break him down too. Don't even worry about it. We're going to break him down too. Let me just show you how stupid and retarded this dude is. Let's look into it. Let me show y'all something. This is the problem right here. People like this claim to be representatives of the black race, trying to be educated. Oh man, let's look at this foolish man claim to be a representative or ambassador of God. You ain't doing nothing but pushing Satanism too. And you leading people straight to hell. Every black person that's under you, who listen to you, who think you smart and intelligent and know the Bible, you leading them straight to hell. And I'm glad this is recorded because you said a lot of foolish things in there that we gonna break you down easy, brother. Let's listen to.
Been in a fallen state since we've been here in America.
And what does it mean to be in a fallen state?
The fallen state meaning falling from our identity, falling from understanding who our oppressor is, and having no knowledge of how to get out of that condition. And that's why we fall into presidential elections. Every 4 years, we think this is the great answer to fix us, instead of leaving the elections alone and black people just fixing themselves. We don't need a white handout, an African handout, an Arab handout. That's not what we do in ISUBK. We fix ourselves.
But
now, look what this clown just said. This clown said every 4 years, we tend to want to try to vote, thinking that the election is going to help us. We need to stop voting and leaving voting alone. We need to fix ourselves. Look what this clown just said. We need to stop voting, stop dealing with the elections, and we need to fix ourselves as black people. He think he popping something real. He think he popping something factual. He think he just said something fire. That's one of the dumbest things he could have said. So let me get this right. You are trying to influence black people not to vote, and that we should fix ourselves. And yet, you on United States soil, you are in a government that governs you based upon laws, policies, legislations. But you saying black people don't vote at all. Stop voting and let's just work on ourselves. But you on the land of your so-called captivity. How smart is that? How smart is that? When they putting people in office as their representatives to make laws that you have to abide by living in a country. You sound stupid. Do you not understand the power of voting? Do you not understand what the whole civil rights movement thing was about? Do you see how much they knew how powerful voting was? That they wanted to stop us from voting and not allowing us to vote? What was the reason for that? If you was any type of smart person, what you would be doing was trying to find somebody who could be a respectable representative for what is true, who stand up for something, to put them in a position where they could be voted for. That's why it's called representatives. You sound stupid. That's the reason why we got stuff. That's the reason why we got this trash going on right here. As a result of the stupid thing that you just said out of your mouth, trying to be smart and sounding like a straight up fool. Trying to be smart and sounding like a straight up fool. This is the perfect example and reason why we so behind. It's not a black and white thing, it's a sin thing. But people understand and know how to make this stuff work. They know what they're doing to put this stuff in play. That's why it's out like this. You saying these stupid things while all this stuff going on like this. Talking about we shouldn't be voting. We should work on ourselves. How are we going to work on ourselves? By what? Going up under you? They always want to be the leaders. They always want to be worshipped and praised. You ain't got your own act together. Sitting up here lying, talking about he don't sin. Talking about he keep 613 laws. You are a liar. I'm expose you on that too. That's another conversation. Brother, terrible, man. Y'all sorry. Sorry as hell. Y'all add to this mess. You ain't doing nothing but deceiving other people, manipulating other people. Always want to take the place of God. It's y'all problem. You ain't no different than these people. Y'all are equal. You ain't no different. You misleading people, you brainwashing people, you deceiving, and you working for Satan too. You ain't no different than these people. People terrible. Black people need to stop voting and just work on themselves. But you living in the United States government. What part of government don't this clown get? You work for them because they want people not to vote. So they can keep putting their homosexual leaders in office to make these laws for y'all to go up under. Now, when you speak against a homosexual, guess what? You broke the law. You going to jail. But they can call you a nigga. And there ain't no problem. They can have sex with you without even letting you know that they was a man, tricking you and deceiving you. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Man, get out of here, man. Y'all brothers terrible, man. Sad. They're abusing these children, man. And people need to put an end to this trash. They're using black people to push it. They're using us to be the face of it because it don't look good on white folks. White people don't have the influence over the world like black people do to make people follow and copy a trend. That's why they make it always try to look good on black. Okay? That's just a fact. They using all these black people. Look, they make it mandatory. If you black, you get in Hollywood, put on a dress, put on lipstick, look like a girl. That's the agenda. Black people make it look good. That being said, it's your boy Battle Truth. It ain't my judgment, that's some question. It's yours. Subscribe to Battle Truth.